Good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Tim Terlep here. Welcome to this week's 3 Minutes to Vitality. Last time we talked a little bit about a study that had been recently been released about sleep and different durations of sleep relative to risks for mortality and other dying and other diseases as well. So this week we're just going to spend a little bit of time on some items that we can use if you have difficulty sleeping. Items to use to sleep, and then we're going to go over, not this time, but another time, strategies that we can use to make sleeping better, that we go down faster and stay down longer, right, which is really the thing, so we can get that minimum 7 hours, preferably 8. Mom was right when she said 8 hours of sleep. That woman was right again, for gosh sakes. Right, so what we want to make sure that we're doing is looking at this stuff. So many people will use medicines. There are sleeping agents that are prescribed. All of them will help different people at different times. None are designed to be used for a sustained period of time. So if you or someone you know is using one of those aids, I won't get into the prescription meds for sleep, but if we're using it on a sustained period, duration of time in order to get to sleep, it is not what it was designed to do, and it will only cause problem. That is guaranteed. So other people use other more natural sleeping agents. Some people will try, and it works pretty well, magnesium before bed. There's valerian root. Some people use combinations of valerian root and chamomile and a couple other things that can be used, can be helpful. Other people use melatonin. I'm not a melatonin fan because melatonin is a hormone. And we do have we've talked before about something called the circadian rhythms, which is just our internal clocks in our bodies relative to the light and dark cycles of the earth. It is real. It is not something that is hooey. It has actually been proven, and we even know that a particular gland right behind here called the pineal gland actually is very sensitive to light, and it's the stimulation of this that happens when the sun starts to go down that we start to develop more melatonin in our bodies, and it builds up until probably 11 or 12 o'clock. And then in the morning when the sun starts to come up, melatonin levels go back down again. We know that this cycle happens. Taking melatonin, because the endocrine, the hormone system is so integrally tied together, can mess it up. So for a short course, if things are really bad, it's okay to do. But to use it on a sustained basis, not a good health strategy. My favorite thing to use, and the most effective for the most people, seems to be a combination of something called 5-HTP and GABA. Now 5-HTP, silly names, it's hydroxytryptophan, and there's a protein that's called tryptophan, and in our bodies it's L-tryptophan, and that actually is one of the building blocks, the main building block that our body uses to make melatonin and serotonin. Great. So we just mentioned melatonin, so it's a precursor so the body can actually build more of what it needs, and it isn't overloaded so it doesn't adversely affect our endocrine system, which is fantastic. GABA think of it as a natural muscle relaxer. It happens naturally in our body. It's gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA, right? So it relaxes the body as well and facilitates, it decreases the excited state of the nervous system and helps calm it down. So when you put those two together, you get this really great 1-2 punch. I usually will start people in 100 milligrams of 5-HTP to try, right, with 100 milligrams of GABA. Some people do great with 100 or 200 milligrams of 5-HTP and never require the addition of the GABA. But when you put it together, it works really well. I had universally better success with that for people than anything else. When we go to the other strategies we're going to get into in another 3 minutes, you can really facilitate your sleep and really affect your health profoundly with the simple strategy of making sure that we're getting enough sleep. So until I see you next time, sleep well. Thanks.